This is our 15th annual Water Summit, and I want to thank everybody here and my partner, Jeff Thomas, for all you for coming. Thank you. Number 15. Jeff and I have been doing this for 15 years. We're almost married. I know. What do you?
No, not yet.
Not quite. So, this year's theme is finding reliability, where we're going to examine how we can continue the reliability that we have for our county and our state today and going in the future, our opportunities, our challenges, what has been the long-term history, what's been the short-term history, and how all of our great water policymakers are going to help us do that. I'm going to now, as I said, turn over to our co-chairman, Jeff Thomas, who's a board member of the Metropolitan Water District, to say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Welcome, everybody. Really glad to have all of you here today. These kind of events don't happen unless you have a lot of sponsors. I think all of us know that in the business. I want to thank all the sponsors that are involved with us today, all those that bought tables, paid for lunches, various things throughout the day, who made this all possible. So thank you very much from the bottom of my heart and from our family to yours. Also, too, I'd like to acknowledge the members of our boards. Those that are here, if you're on the board of MODOC or on the board of OCWD, could you step up and just want to thank you, or don't stand up. Thank you. Very good, too. Also, too, I do like to thank, and we have certain people here tonight that were on the committee that served this last year. If I could acknowledge Director Green, who also happens to be the incoming, or if not the incoming, already president of Aqua. Really glad, Kathy. Good job. Director Bilodeau, Seckel, and Crane, you're all here. I've seen you. Thank you. Thank you for your tireless service. Also to the rest of the planning committee and also the staffs that put this together. I also want to acknowledge all the people that were involved in this. One of our speakers, Darcy Burke, used to be on the staff at MODOC, and she understands how much is involved if you work putting something like this together. We also have elected officials or their staff members in the House today. And if you are an elected official, I know former Secretary Bill Jones and others, if you just kindly stand up, I want to acknowledge you for being here. Thank you very much. If I did water directors, everybody would stand up. So you're all elected, and I know that. So, thank you all for being here. I want to acknowledge you as well. And then, too, at this time, and this is something that's always my greatest pleasure, if you would please stand, I'd like to do the Pledge of Allegiance, especially on a day like this. Please place your hand over your heart and join me. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeff. So now it's my pleasure to introduce our amazing Master of Ceremonies, the iconic weathercaster and comedian, Fritz Coleman. Thank you, Fritz, for being here. We appreciate that. Fritz has, I believe, has been the MC for us for 5 times. This is his 5th one, and it's just wonderful. We've been so blessed to have him here, and his humor. And as I mentioned earlier, he, after doing the weather, first he was a comedian, and he got discovered for the weather in doing comedy in one of the Hollywood, LA comedy places there. And they said, that guy ought to be doing the weather. And the rest is history. A little more to the story. So we were really appreciative that Fritz is here. And at this time, we have a video that we want to show that is from Fritz. If you could please start that.
Good morning, water leaders. Fritz Coleman coming to you from beautiful Orange County, California. Welcome to the 15th annual OC Water Summit. With this year's theme being Finding Reliability, let's take a moment to appreciate the reliability we do have and what it takes to continue a reliable water supply for the next generation. Thanks to the leadership and vision of our water supply champions throughout Orange County, we're well poised to find it. Now, how do we convince state and federal policymakers that Orange County is on the right track? First up, drought, or missed opportunities. 66 years ago, the greatest generation produced a landmark engineer's report with the 1957 California Water Plan. The plan charted a solution to California's flooding and drought woes. Why wasn't it completely implemented? Have Sacramento leaders lost their way, just as they're about to take a different approach with the current plan? This session introduces the French drain solution that many say could solve the Bay Delta dilemma. Is it fair to blame climate change for everything? Delves into whether drought and water rationing stem solely from climate change, or whether poor water management and planning do play a part. How much does the media hype it to get clicks and sell advertising? Provocative statements and ideas are the foundation of scientific advancement, so we're going to see if we can find out where science, media, and policy may be blurring the lines. Speaking of the future, what's in store and how can we best prepare for it? The summit's final session will be to contemplate what Southern California could face in the next 5 years when drought inevitably returns. What is the Metropolitan Water District's big plan to quench a thirsty region? Experts will discuss how the Colorado River and Delta water allocations will be determined and whether it's time to give ocean desalination another chance. Here at the OC Water Summit, we're bringing together visionaries and decision makers to tackle the water challenges facing our region. Together, we'll explore innovative solutions, exchange ideas, and build a roadmap for a water-secure future. Join us as we drive progress. Join us as we shape the future of water in Orange County. Join us in our pursuit of finding reliability.
Thank you, Fritz. If you could come up. I think we found Nemo. We got to find reliability. And Fritz will be the MC for that. Thank you. It's all yours.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. How are you? I'm happy to be back. I was stricken with COVID last year and became my own water source. So I couldn't be here, and I missed it. You know, the thing is, we're in a room of huge brains. And even if you don't understand what's being talked about, you can tell by their body language that they're sincere about what they're talking about. And so you'll learn something here if you're a first-timer. Every time I come here, I wish that this presentation could be made available to the general public, or maybe broken up into segments because of the short American attention span, and delivered to the general public. But I just think there's so much to learn, because as we learn from these droughts and these extreme swings in weather, from El Nino wet patterns to dry patterns, that water is going to become a really, even more than it is now, a state issue, a global political issue. And I think the more the general public could learn about it, the better off they would be. So I think you provide a great service, and it's an honor for me to be a part of it this year. I want to thank Steve and Jeff for inviting me to participate again. How many of you are attending the summit for the first time? Anybody? Oh, fantastic. We welcome you. We hope you'll walk away with a better understanding of Orange County's water supply. Before we dive into today's program, I'd like to give you the lay of the land. Our speakers are all incredibly accomplished. However, we will try and keep introductions short so that we have more time to hear from them, so their bios are included in our digital program. To keep us moving, speakers will hear this sound. When you hear that sound, jump under the table and don't ask any questions. Now, you'll have 2 minutes remaining in your presentation. When you hear this sound, you're done. Each session includes time for audience question and answers. So what do you say? You ready to get started?